Hey, this is C. So if you are trying to eat healthy but you feel tired, bloated, or just not your best, the issue may be in how you are preparing your food. So let's talk about how common kitchen habits could be stripping your meals of the nutrients your body needs to thrive. Let's get to it. All right, let's talk about 4 things here. First, overcooking your veggies. Come on, y'all. Y'all be turning that broccoli into broccoli mush. So we don't want to overcook vegetables. We don't want to boil it too long, or microwaving can destroy our heat sensitive nutrients like vitamin C and our B vitamins and some phytonutrients. So what can we do instead? How about lightly steam our greens, saute on low to medium heat with the pan already hot. So get that pan hot first, y'all, and roast with care. Keep some crunch in your food. Believe me, your body will thank you. Let's talk about number 2. Not soaking your beans or certain grains. Have you ever felt gassy or bloated after eating some beans or seeds or nuts? This is in part because they contain phytic acid, which prevents some mineral absorption. So soaking or sprouting these foods help break down these compounds and make the nutrients more available for your body so you can actually use them. So you definitely need to soak your beans, your legumes, your grains like your quinoa and millet. Also, some of your nuts, usually like your almonds, cashews, walnuts, or pecans, are best to soak. And just to soak these items, just soak it in some filtered water with a pinch of salt, depending on how big the bowl is. And for your nuts, after they soak, like let's say beans overnight, you can just rinse them off and go ahead and cook as normal. For your nuts, you'll want to go ahead and rinse those off and then dry them or use them immediately after soaking and rinsing. And let me say, this is not all that hard, because one of the things I like to do is I just have 2 or 3 days out of a week where I just soak stuff. So I'll soak something on the counter. So I'll pick something that I'm going to have that week. Let's say it's quinoa. I'll soak it. Then the next day I just rinse it off, put it in the Instant Pot or crock pot to cook. Bam. And I try to soak big batches just so I can freeze some for later use and then use some for meals for the next couple days. All right, y'all, let's talk about number 3, storing our food too long. Storing our chopped fruits and veggies for too long. Once they are cut, they begin to lose their nutrients, especially vitamin C. So the longer it sits in the fridge or on the counter, it doesn't matter, right? Fridge or counter. So something we could try to do is try prepping smaller batches or storing them in airtight containers. We just want to try to squeeze all the air that we can and maybe even sprinkle a little bit of lemon juice on there. Something I usually do is I'll just go ahead and freeze them. I often do this with bananas, pineapples, and various veggies. Now, when I talk about the veggies, you have to blanch those first, just as a side note. And keeping it real, in the frozen section at the grocery store, those vegetables probably contain more nutrients than the fresh broccoli, to be honest. Because what they'll do is they'll pick it and go ahead and go through the process and freeze it automatically. Whereas your broccoli, fresh broccoli, may have been 2 weeks out before it got to you. Don't forget the oils. Olive oil, for example, is not something you want to use when you're trying to deep fry, all right? When you have oils like olive oil, when it's heated too high, they can oxidize. And I'm sure you've heard this, it damages the good fats and can produce harmful compounds depending on the temperature. So we want to do pan frying or roasting. Is probably safe for most cooktops, but searing and deep frying isn't when you're talking about olive oil. So in those cases where you need a high heat oil, you want to go to your avocado or your coconut oil. And while we're talking about this, check out the description, because I got 2 downloads for you this week. One is on oils, an oil guide for you, and the other one is a freezing guide. So let's do a quick summary. We want to make sure we're not overcooking our food and making mush. If you want to do that, just make a smoothie instead. Number 2, remember to soak your beans and legumes and some nuts as well. Storing your foods. How we store our foods is important too. So if you know you're not going to eat this right away, prep it for freezing and freeze it. And then the other thing is oils. Make sure that we're using the right oils for the right job. So healthy eating isn't just about choosing whole foods. It's also about treating them with care so that they can nourish you. Start small and keep it easy. If this helped you rethink your kitchen habits, give it a like, share it with a friend, and let me know in the comments which food prep habit are you ready to change first. Take care, y'all.